Cool. Thanks, Joel, for joining GitLab. I appreciate it. This is the new hire AMA with the APAC hires, and also grateful. We already have a question. Goro, you want to verbalize?
Yes. Hi, I'm Goro from Tokyo, and I want to ask you one question. So now AI is evolving in a great speed. So how much do you expect it to evolve in this a year from now? And what role you think that GitLab should play in this change? That's my question.
Yeah, thanks for that. AI is going to change us and our DevSecOps platform a lot. I think today we're focused on the dev part of it, kind of things like code suggestions. But I think it's also interesting we have a DevSecOps platform, so also for security and operations, it's going to make a huge difference. It's going to allow people to be much faster, to get more work done. I don't think it will necessarily make things easier or less complicated. I think things will get more complex, but you just are going to be able to get more work done with the augmentation of AI. So really important that we ship a ton of AI features. I linked to the AI strategy stand-up, and there's a lot of features in there that we're working on, and look forward to starting to ship those over the coming weeks. Apart from kind of using AI ourselves to make the DevSecOps platform better, we also should make it easier for our customers to use AI. So I'm looking forward to, for example, to the model registry we'll add to GitLab. Probably every significant application in the future is going to be some combination of code and AI. And we want everything to be managed with GitLab. So that's a second thing we should focus on. Happy to elaborate more if you have any follow-up questions.
No, so far great. Thank you.
Thanks for having the first question, Craig.
Hey, Sid. So my first question is really a personal one. Is hey, how are you feeling?
Yeah, probably related to me. Undergoing chemo treatment right now.
Yes, exactly.
So I'm in my third cycle and feeling medium, I guess. Not my normal self, not my normal energy or everything else, but also I've been able to work today, talk to a ton of people, and had a really good day. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that. So yeah, that's how it's going.
Well, I'm hopeful that you're able to keep a great balance as you go through the journey. So
thanks. I certainly took a nap today in the middle of the day.
Good. My question, like I'm new here and very excited with the potential that we have, and you know, the kind of brand we have in the market and what people think about us. And so I'm thinking a lot about that journey to $1 billion, and would love your insights on if you think about where we are now and what kinds of capabilities we need to build or change as a company. What would be sort of the top of mind things that we'll need to do a bit differently to get to $1 billion?
Yeah, thanks for that. I think if I look at the market, I think the DevSecOps market, I think it's gonna consolidate into platforms, and that we estimate that to be a $40 billion market. And there seem to be only two viable platforms, only us and GitHub. I think GitHub is more well known, and they're ahead on AI right now. I think we have a more comprehensive product. We're through DevSecOps platform, so I think we have to make sure that we increase the awareness of GitLab and talk about all the features that GitLab has that are not there in GitHub, and we have to do some work on AI, making sure that we incorporate those features into the product really fast.
Thank you.
Thanks for asking. I love another
I've got a question. So how many of these do you do? Are these quarterly, or I mean, we're a small cohort, so I'd be interested in how many of these you actually run for new hires.
Yeah, maybe Leaky can chime in as well. It depends a bit. This is the APAC traditionally is the smallest cohort for us, so I think this is a quarterly one. I think we do them quarterly for everyone, but I think this one has fewer participants, so there's a bigger burden on all of you to ask a question.
Yeah, we do quarterly for APAC and then quarterly for America / EMEA.
Great. And I really think it's terrific that you take the time. So thank you. If there are no other, I might just verbalize one if everyone's okay. Another one that I have is, obviously we announced some top line headwinds to the market in the last earnings call. And obviously we've had subsequent follow-ups with analysts to explain to them, I guess, more holistically around how we see this playing out. Would you be able to share sort of broadly the sort of feedback the analysts gave on that announcement and what that interaction kind of looked like, Sid?
Yeah, thanks for that. That's a great question. And if you caught GitLab Assembly, that also partially goes into it. So it might be, if you want even more, then I give him my answer now. That might be a good venue. I think the analysts had two things they wanted to discuss. First of all, they wanted to understand how our price increase for premium, how that would work out. When we announced the price increase for premium, you could almost, I think our stock jumped as much as it went down after our earnings. And what is not intuitive about it is that if we increase our price, it takes a while for that to land in our revenue results. Most of our revenue comes from existing customers, and on average, they have a 14-month contract length. So the price increase is not immediate. It only takes effect at the end of their contract. And then the second thing is, for all our existing customers, we had a ramp where they get only half the increase initially and then the full one. So if you look at that in total, very little of it takes effect in FY24, most of it FY25, and the rest of it in FY26. I think that wasn't obvious to the market, and we were a bit hindered by our quiet period, which meant that when we announced the price increase, we couldn't give context on how much of it would influence our current fiscal year. And so that was something we had to explain during those analyst calls. The other thing they asked about is, what about AI? Microsoft has a partnership with OpenAI. They see they're shipping in GitHub. Are you taking this serious enough? And I think they they were happy with our answers, but we got some we got some shipping to do to prove that we're serious about this.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Well, cool. You want to ask the next question?
Yeah. Hi, Sid. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Thank you,
How are
Sid.
you?
I'm good. Thank you, Sid. I just want to ask one question that we definitely live and breathe the values of GitLab from all the credit value. But if you want to choose one, what would be the one value which makes you successful within GitLab? So I know the whole values are really important, but one value which you really think that makes us will be definitely be successful within GitLab.
Yeah, thanks for that. I think our number one value is results. So hopefully, if you get results, you're successful within GitLab. You kindly wrote down your question before asking it, and I was able to read it. Your exact question written down was, what's the best advice to be successful
Yes.
within GitLab?
Yes.
And my thoughts went to our mission. Everyone can contribute. I hope that in other companies too, if you get results, you're successful. Maybe not always, but that's the ideal state of a company. I think what's really unique about GitLab is that you can also contribute to things that are not directly yours. Your customer success manager, but you on the issue tracker, I hope that when you give advice to a product manager or an engineer about how that feature would work better for a customer, that would be appreciated.
Yeah.
And I hope that if you are working with one of our customers and someone has really cool ideas about how to improve something in GitLab, and you put them in touch with an engineer on our side and they make something, that's appreciated. And I hope that when there's a handbook update that came up, like the one today from legal about how to use the OpenAI API, and you have a clarification that your contributions are welcome. So I think that's something that makes GitLab unique.
Yeah.
We have hopefully short toes, and you're able to contribute outside of your direct line of work.
Sure. Thank you.
Any other questions I can try to answer? Well, if not, thanks for joining GitLab. Appreciate the call. Have a good rest of your day.
Thanks.
Thanks.